Okay, so interesting thing was I have two Google accounts. One does not use Gmail and it would not let me sign in with that one. I had to use the one that did use Gmail, so be aware of that if you have multiple Google accounts. It did make me use the slide out keyboard too. I don't know why I couldn't use the on-screen one, but then after you're done, I'm signed into the Google stuff. It just says slide keyboard back to continue. So I'll do that. Use Google Locations as, and Google Location Service provides applications through approximately without using GPS. So that's the triangulation stuff. And you can disable it. Okay, and they're warning you allow Google's location service to collect anonymous location data. I don't know if you can read that or not, but and then use my location for Google search results. Handy stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that enabled. Okay, your settings, such as your bookmarks and Wi-Fi passwords, can be backed up to automatically your Google account. If you get a new phone, your settings are restored on your. Okay, so that's kind of handy. So again, it's that old "how much do you want Google to know" thing. They already know a lot as it is. They can see what they know with the dashboard that they released last week, which is kind of cool. Okay, so my Google account is now linked to this phone. Google applications are syncing data now. So when the syncing icon disappears at the status bar, so it's up at the top. I don't know if you can see that status icon up there. Then that means it's done downloading. So I'll hit finish setup. Alright, it flipped to this mode, I guess. And you can see there's not a lot going on here yet. You see the Google search bar at the top there. And you can see, here I am getting a really good signal. It does have voice activated search, and from what I've read, anyway, you can just say a search and it'll do it. I'll have to learn how to use it because I literally just pull it out of this box, as you see. So you can see by default it's got messaging, Market, which is your apps store, the phone, of course, because you can't use it as a phone, contacts and browser and maps, and that's what's on the screen by default. Now, from what I've heard, and I've not played with this, there are 3 screens. So you can go from the center screen here, you can go right or left and put more icons there. So that gives you quite a bit of space. Some people are complaining there's only 3 screens. For me, if I have that many icons, I gotta think about what I'm doing with my phone. I do not know what that does, so I'm just gonna push it. There we go. So it pops up a whole bunch more stuff. Alarm clock, Amazon MP3 store was pretty cool. I use that a lot. I don't know if I'm going to buy stuff on my phone, but it's kind of neat that it's on there. Car home is interesting because I've heard that if you put this in dock mode, especially for the GPS, that it kind of does cool stuff if it knows it's in a car and in dock mode. And then of course it comes. Let's see what else it comes with. Corporate calendar. I assume standard calendar that'll tie to Exchange if you wanted to. Gmail, of course, regular email, which I'll need that as well. The market icon again, and then Facebook's on here by default. I don't use Facebook a ton. I do not see, well, what else there? Oh, visual voicemail, I did pay extra for that. I don't know why they charge you extra, but I figure, for a couple bucks a month, it's probably worth it. YouTube's on here by default, of course. Google Talk, all the stuff you would probably expect, and that's, I guess, how you expand that. So, overall, pretty cool. Let's go ahead and launch the browser just to see what it looks like. First time I'm doing this, I assume Google will be the homepage. And what do you know it is? Looks pretty good, loads pretty darn fast. It says acquiring location, which is kind of interesting. So it is automatically acquiring my location. I don't know if you flip it. Yeah, so it does automatically flip, of course, which is pretty standard stuff. So let's hit local up at the top just to see what that does, if I can. So let's hit local. There we go. Okay, so it'll take a little bit of getting used to. So I'll hit local. Why not? And it's doing some stuff. Okay, so just again, since it knows my location, restaurants, food and drink, gas, automotive, etc., etc. So pretty interesting stuff. Now, the other thing you can do on this versus the iPhone is you can leave multiple apps running. So let's go back to the home screen, which I assume you do with this house button down at the bottom there. Okay. Oh no. Okay. So when I hit that house button down there, brings up a list of running apps. Okay, so maybe if I hit the back button. Okay, so that literally takes me back in the browser. Again, like I said, I'll have to figure out how all this stuff works. I would have thought that hitting home would take me back to the home page, but I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Well, you probably don't want to sit here and watch me learn this literally, but overall it seems cool so far. I gotta see the apparently the really cool stuff comes in when you start. Like a friend of mine got one, and he told me when he started adding me as a contact, it automatically said knew me from Facebook and said, "Do you just want to add it from Facebook?" Which is kind of cool that everything integrates that way. I don't know what it's doing now, to be honest with you. Okay, let's just go back. Okay, so I hit back a couple times. There's probably an easier way to get to the home screen. And that's pretty much it so far. Oh, you actually dragged that. That's interesting. I thought you just pushed it, but if you actually just press and drag. Yeah, so pretty cool phone so far. The feel of it is really nice. And compared to, I got my iPod Touch right over here actually. Compared to the iPod Touch, which is in a case, it seems like it's smaller. It's in a case, but there's the iPod Touch. There's the Droid. Weight's about the same, oddly enough, because you'd think its cell phone would be a little bit heavier. But so far so good. That's the unboxing and the powering up. Exciting stuff.